Good
Thank
morning.
you again for coming. As I said, Laszlo will share the will record the presentation just for those that cannot attend. Only few of us will not attend. Uh, we are starting a new project, and it will take some time to finalize it. It took some time to close the review process with Springer. With Eyal, we prepared a short presentation to introduce the work. So I'll give the floor to Eyal to start the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Salvatore. I just will upload my presentation in a minute. Now, why?
You should go on present now.
Yeah, well, I just.
You want? I can share mine if you have problems, and you can talk on
Okay.
that.
I have present now, and then I do your entire screen, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. But in the entire screen, I see the screen. So perhaps it's better. Try again. Because the presentation is on my. I still cannot see it. So perhaps you can upload it from your instrument, please. Oh,
Okay.
I can. Okay. Now I see it. Yes. Okay. So. Can you see it now? Okay. Okay, good. Okay. First, thank everybody to join us today. And we would like to introduce you with the progress have been made since we submitted um, the proposal to the Elsevier. It took some time, and it went through a couple of reviewers, and we answered the reviewers, and we put all together. And at the moment, this is, let's say, the final proposal. It can be a little bit changed, but the structure has to remain as it is. About 3 or 4 weeks ago, Salvatore and myself signed a contract with Elsevier, and this contract is, of course, very strict, and we need to follow all the timeline of the contract. So this is why we have a KickOff meeting, in order to provide everybody his role in this project. The idea is, well, of course, these are the authors, all the people from the Harmonize are part of this book as part of the working group number 5 that has to organize all of the activities. So as you see, Salvatore and myself are the editors, and all of you are actually contributors, and we'll go through each chapter in a short time, and we will discuss each of the chapters. The idea of the book, as we said for the editors, the Elsevier, is that the book is actually provide an overview of ways in which unmanned airborne aerial system has revolutionized our capability to monitor vegetation, dynamic river and processes at unparalleled spatio-temporal resolution. And as you see, most of the objectives are part of our harmonized activity. So we have soil, we have river stream, vegetation dynamics. We have more, of course, items in UAS. But we decided to actually concentrate it on what we're doing through the harmonized activity. So the book will include guidelines, technical advice, and practical experience to support practitioners and scientists to raise efficiently monitoring with the UAS. So mostly what we are doing so far. So mainly this book will be summarize the activity and perhaps also giving more information, and also an view will go through the ideal chapter template. So this is the timeline that we set with the publisher. So we have KickOff meeting today, and then we need to come up with the first outline for each chapter on December 2020. It's a guideline and outline, and it's not yet the chapter, but you need to fill it in and provide us by the end of September these outlines. And then we have time of, let's say, half a year to write a chapter and submit it to us. We are in a very high schedule, as you see, because, as I said, the contract with the publisher is quite tight. They want to publish it as soon as possible because they want to do money out of it, and they found out that this is a very demanded topic. So we could stretch the formal submission date by half a year, but the first date by the publisher was even more stressy. So the chapter submission to us will be end of March 2021, and then we will send it to. We will review it, of course, and then we will send it to peer review professional reviewers, and then we send it to you, and on July 2021 you send us the corrected chapters, and then we should go through first draft of the book, and then book review by the publisher, and then we will have a final version of the book in November 2021. The idea is to have the book finished by 1st of January 2022. This is the timeline, and I will appreciate it if we all can stick to that. And this book is actually consists of 13 chapters, and these are the chapters. We will go through the chapters in a minute, but just a brief summary of the chapters, as you see. So each of the working group has at least 2 or 3 chapters to write, and us as editors, we need to write the introduction and also be part of the other chapters that we are leading. And let's go for each of the chapters. We will send you, of course, this presentation, and also these chapters, and all the information is within the document that Salvatore sent few days ago. So it's all there. And so what we see here is chapter one, the introduction, and this will be edited by or written by both of us, Salvatore and myself. Also, Anna Brook will participate. Chapter number two will be recent advances in UAS technology. We suggested that Surin Herman will edit this chapter with the help of Kurain and Matteo, and also Daria. And if anybody else wants to contribute to other chapters, not even to this chapter, he is welcome. And please approach the editor of the chapter, or the author of the chapter, actually. Chapter number three is protocol for UAS-based observation. So this will be by Surin edited, and also with the other fellows. Chapter number four is structure for motion for the 3D mapping. This will be authored by Jill and also by Jose. This is a suggestion, and of course, everybody can join each of the chapters. Chapter 5 will be mapping, and this will be by Yana and Martin. Chapter 6, monitoring for agriculture ecosystem by Antonino and Felix. And 7, soil texture and mapping with UAS. Nuncio will author this chapter with my help. Chapter 8 will be soil moisture content. Also Nuncio and Jean and Salvatore, and I will also be willing to contribute to this chapter. We were in chapter 8, we have now chapter 9. River monitoring with UAS is with Matteo, will be the author. Chapter number 10 will be by Salvatore, Salvador and Alonso. Everybody can join them if they want. And it's a little bit messed here, but chapter number 11 will be Dacio and Ian. And chapter number 12 will be tools for database for UAS application by myself and Flavio. And chapter number 13 will be it's a lesson learned from the current UHS activity and future notes, will be authored by Yaspi. I think from here and on, I will give the floor to Salvatore to continue. So Salvatore, the floor is yours. I will move the slides whenever you ask me to do. So I'll go on mute.
No, okay. So I didn't realize that you had you have been able. Both of us were sharing the same screen. Anyway, the idea of the book is mainly a technical book that will provide guidance to technicians and scientists for the environmental monitoring. What we discussed with Eyal is the following. We are, of course, a big group of people, and we have identified somewhat the responsibility of the chapter. We have assigned the responsibility of some chapters to the working group leaders or the working groups in general. And basically, the leadership of the different chapters will be in charge of the working group leaders also, that have provided some suggestion also about our authorship. As Eyal already said, we are happy to enlarge number of participations for participants that are willing to actively contribute. Of course, this has to be somehow coordinated with the working group leaders and with the coordination of the project, because it is important to have an equal distribution of the workload. Not because we don't want to have active people to contribute. It's mainly because for the timing, it will be much better to have an equal load of work among authors, but also because we consider that it's clear to us to guarantee a good quality of each chapters with the right recognition of the contribution of authors. For this reason, we suggested to have short list of authors that preferable are list of 2-3 authors, suggesting maximum of 4 authors in each chapter. Based on these, essentially there are chapters that probably have already enough in which the number of contributors are already above the maximum that we have identified. Some others in which probably we need some identify some help if needed. For instance, if I remember well, in chapter number 13, probably Giuseppe may need the help of someone, and maybe also there are few other chapters in which there might be a better assessment of the author list.
Okay.
Yes. In this one, this chapter was thought to be somehow a collection of experiences and associated with eventually some data that we could eventually provide within the text. So we can go next. Of course, we have been informed by Elsevier that the project will be developed in an editorial project manager that is Elsa. In this tool, we will have somehow Elsevier will provide us assistance regarding the format of the chapter and the style. In the following chapter, you can see how to create what is the homepage of this service, and in this service, we'll give you access to the project, and you will be able to register for this specific project. Of course, based on what we said and based on the idea that we have for each chapter, essentially the chapter should be structured, providing some introduction about the topic, possibly a review of the literature of the most recent literature and methodology that are available for each specific topic. It would be nice to provide a short description of an application and provide some discussion about practical use, example of application, and things like that. Those essentially deadlines for us are the definition of an outline of the chapters, and this is due by September. It's not a big effort for us. It would be nice to start on to define an outline of each chapter as soon as possible, because this gives us the opportunity to coordinate the work of each author and avoid overlap among chapters, in order to have a complete description of the variables and the topics that we want to introduce in the book, and using the different chapters to provide the complementary information that time are needed in order to somehow proceed in the reading of the book. For instance, I expect that it will be useful, and we will try to do this exercise to work a bit and to define some interaction among the vegetation mapping and soil moisture mapping that are strongly interconnected. So, and in the writing of these two chapters, probably there are common aspects that will be treated in both, and we will try to distribute properly contents. For the final writing, as Eyal already said, we defined this preliminary submission by March 2021. That is a fair deadline. Consider that we, starting from now, we have about 8 months for the description of preliminary writing. And this is all for now. We can close. Thank you with a final thank you that Eyal introduced in the presentation, with drawn to close the discussion. So. Okay. This is all for now. I don't know if there are comments. We can start a short brainstorming about chapters, writing, and everything else.
No, I think the distribution of the topic are very organized. Just share the document as soon as possible, or I don't know if you already did, because I did, maybe I missed it, and I will start to work on it, and I will propose also my collaboration in other chapters.
Yes, I think the most is the outline that Salvatore said, that we will be able to harmonize the work together, because sometimes there are some overlapping issues. Maybe we can share these chapters with other authors, and it's very important to have the outline. So you can, start working on that and discuss with us until the last September, the last day of September. We have much time. It's quite stressy, so let's start now.
Okay.
I have a practical question. So how are we going to, if I start with the outline, how do I share it? I mean, if everybody should see it, it's like to the all is email, or is there an idea about that?
Right now, the publisher will give us some interface to use or to share everything together and to work on the book all together. At the moment, I don't really know this interface. They should send us, and we will learn how to work with that. And I think in the end we will share it with everybody. But at the time being, I think that you can, I mean, for the time being, just send, or maybe Salvatore will open some share interface. We can work together, and I think Salvatore, this is a good idea that with Google you can open some share environment.
Yes, in this preliminary phase for our internal deadline, I think it might be nice to have your suggestions. We will start to sum up the outline in a document that will be visible to all participants of the book. So in this way, you will also have an idea of how we are structuring elements, and of course we may eventually suggest additional section if needed, or remove some in this preliminary phase in order to create an organic and structured book. So this will be this preliminary phase of the work.
Hello everyone, and if there are some suggestions about the number of pages, I mean a range, a minimum and a maximum pages for each chapter will be good to know, because maybe we can organize better all the information in the chapters.
For the time being, we can say that we have a total limit, if I remember correctly, Eyal, you can correct me, of 400 pages, I think. So this means that we should stay on the average on about 30 pages per chapter. That's the limit. We don't have limits about the color figure, so they accept to publish everything in color. So we have a fair number of images and tables that they accept to print.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if we can set up a document, a shared document with the frequent asked questions in order to have a record when we write the chapter and also the index. If it's possible, a shared document with the frequent asked question. For example, that one on the number of pages. A document that we can share when we put some answers.
Some guidelines. Okay, but we provided a preliminary guideline with the information that we had. This will be further implemented. Okay, this is not a problem.
Hello everyone, can I ask a question?
Yes, sure.
So I have a question on chapter 12, the one I'm directly involved with Eyal. So how do you frame this chapter? So do you think of it as a wrap-up chapter that because I can read here a comprehensive description of processing the USA data. So basically, should it be a chapter that summarizes the workflow of all the data processing schemes for different applications?
Yes, it should be a technical chapter that shows, how to go from digital number to thematic mapping. I think some of this information is already published in our paper together. So I think this is mostly the idea. So if we have the data number or before how we prepare the information before the flight is taking place, until the end how we get the thematic mapping data, and also it's a technical, really technical. It's not scientific. It's technical chapter that should provide to the user guideline how to do that and what are the software that are available and so forth. So this is mainly the
The idea was also to have at the end of the book two chapters that are meant to be practical chapters with some suggestions about available softwares and tools that can be used for US applications. And also in the last one, eventually some data set for an exercise. So this is the aim, and these last two chapters should be coordinated together.
Okay.
Yeah, Flavia, I'm willing to also to collaborate on this.
Thank you, Giuseppe.
Now.
Okay, so if there are no more questions, I think we should close the session. What do you think, Salvatore? Any more things to add?
No, just one final. May I ask something? No, what I was trying to ask is the following. Chapter 3 is, in my mind, very closely related to the last paper published on remote sensing. In this list of authors, we assigned the work to Sorin, Corinne, that I cannot see in today, Matthew, and Daria. Regarding this, first of all, are everyone listed here interested to work on this chapter? That is the general guidelines for your application.
Yes, from my perspective, yes. I have to. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. But I have to meet with people that you proposed to work on the chapter 2 and chapter 3. And then a question was if we have possibility to add maybe one people that we know and that we think can add value to the chapters. I mean, you put some people here, but I have to get in contact with them to see if they are able and if they have time to work on this task.
No, because this is important. Because if the question, I see that Daria is saying yes. So, of course, as I said, I don't want to overload people. So just try to be on the safe side in this distribution of work. Since I don't see much, I didn't have much interaction with Corinne lately. I wonder if she's willing to contribute, and if she's not, we can replace that eventually with someone like have in mind people like Goran that certainly can help. No? This can be an.
So my proposal is that each editor of the chapter take contact with the people that you suggest, and together with you we'll take decision about if we have some people that are not willing to contribute.
Or I don't think that there will be anyone that is not willing Very good. The question is, do they have time to be timely contributing? This is the issue. So okay, so I think it's fine. So you the idea and the message that we have to share. So in the coming days, we will collect all your suggestions about structure, authors, and of course, I think that each of you will try the best to have the better coordination of the activities and the best distribution of work, being aware of the fact that we should try to be timely in the finalization of the project. It's not easy because there is a lot of work that needs to be done. The writing of the chapter takes an effort. There will be many iteration among us, you and Eyal and I. We look forward for it because I think it will be a great contribution for the literature, and we want to provide such a contribution, and we want to put all the energy we can for that. So I feel very engaged in this project. And if there are no other comments, we can probably close and update the meeting for the next time.
I have one last question.
Yes, please.
Are there any of the chapters dependent on each other, such that one has to be completed and reviewed before the other one?
Yeah, actually, I'm trying to following Darius' comments. For example, for chapter 12, it is from raw data, and we process the data, and after that, then we get the thematic data, right? Thematic variables. So I'm not sure if this chapter 12 should be a little bit advanced further at the beginning.
Could be also at the end, because in the beginning. In the beginning also we gave some information about if you take, for instance, a look on chapter 2 and chapter 3. So the protocol for UAV-based observation. Once you go over, I think, once you go all over the examples of other chapters, you come up with something that's summarizing the protocols and the instrumentation and the software. So this was our aim to put it in chapter number 12. As you know, each chapter is not connected to the other chapter, so each chapter might be finalized as it is. It's standalone chapter. So once the chapter is finalized, we will send it to review.